Konami Studios. Joker Warzone, or Batman Joker Warzone, whatever you want to call it. It's a book in Joker War, that story going on. Just a bunch of mini things that are happening inside that world and what's going on outside the main continuity. Well, not the main continuity, the main story that we're seeing with Bruce Wayne and Joker and the rest of the Bat family. These are the characters you didn't have the chance to see yet. I will say I am enjoying what this did a lot. There was like 5 mini stories that we just see. We just go through a couple things, see where some characters are, where things are going to be going in the future. You know, Joker War is coming to an end at issue 100, and then we're jumping into the next storyline. But this kind of sets up, I think, where the next year of Batman is going to be going. And I'm not sure exactly if it's all going to be from Tynion. There's a couple things here that we did see that I'm expecting are going to be from a different team. 2 in particular that I'm kind of curious to see what that could be like. But it's all pretty cool stuff. I did enjoy it a lot. I had a great time reading this. So the first story we get is a story about Bane and how he's still locked in prison. And then we have the Joker come in. And this was actually, I think, my favorite story just because I read the last bit of Tom King's run on Batman. And that kind of ties in directly to this because Bane is defeated in that. He does certain things where he kills Alfred in front of certain characters like Damian Wayne. And how that kind of plays into the story going forward. I like this a lot because you just get Joker kind of berating him like, you know, you can command a room with your voice. You don't have to try so hard like I do. You're just a physically empowering guy. You're terrifying to look at. And you are up there now with like the big bads for the Bat, but you went about it wrong when you took over the city. You know, I played along with you. I was in support of what you were doing, but then the way you handled things, taking the last parental figure of Batman and killing him in front of Robin, you definitely messed up there. That's not a great thing to do. So the Joker's like, yeah, I'm gonna come for you. Like, this is just kind of like a warning to show how bad you messed up. You could have done so much more to hurt the Bat, and you did it badly, and that pisses me off because I could have done it better than you. So here's your warning. I'm guaranteeing you sometime in 2021 we will see a Joker versus Bane thing happening in the main Batman story. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I thought that was so cool, so interesting just to see Bane just sitting there, just letting Joker berate him because he knows there's nothing to be scared about with Joker. He's not worried about whatever that guy could do. I really liked that. I thought it was really cool. So that was probably my favorite one. And you know what I'm saying that? But all of these were really good. I think they were all really interesting, really unique stuff. So we get another story here. This is the first time I think we see John Ridley's name on something related to Batman. And obviously he was like set to do the big 5G thing with Batman, or that was the rumor for a long time. People were speculating he was going to be doing the story where the Luke Fox takes over the role of Batman in the future. Now we get some story in here. We see a lot of the Fox family. We see Lucius Fox still kind of figuring out what to do with this money that Catwoman sent to him and his family in order to distribute it around Gotham City. And you just kind of see how the world reacts to that. I thought it was really well written and really interesting. We get a lot of the expanded family. I'm sorry, I cannot remember everyone's names. There's Tamara, who is, I think, his daughter, Lucius's daughter, or his wife. I can't remember. But we see a couple members of the family, and we see Luke Fox, who I think is supposed to take over the role of Batman. And, you know, we just see they're getting attacked by some clowns who are working for the Joker. Like, we want that money back that Catwoman stole from us. And it was really cool. We get our first look at that bat suit. Okay, is it our first look? I'm not sure if it's our first look, but we get a look here at that bat suit that Luke Fox is going to be wearing. I hope this story is in continuity because holy shit did that look cool. What a nice looking suit, very fun. Lucius is like, I know who's behind that mask and I also know how to destroy it because I designed the damn thing. So that was really cool. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen there. It was just a fun way to like, oh yeah, that John Ridley story, it's still coming. You guys can still read that in the future. So I hope everyone enjoys that. I really like that. Really fun, really interesting. And we do get probably my second favorite story. I don't know why I say second. I think they're all really good. But we get Joshua Williamson, a guy who I'm absolutely adoring right now. He just finished his Flash run. He's doing Batman, Superman. So I'm not sure what his next big thing is going to be at DC. Is it going to be this? Are we going to see a mini from him with Orphan and Spoiler? I hope so, because they do a lot of cool stuff there. So this one was, I think, the funniest, just the most entertaining, where you see, spoiler and Orphan, they kind of show up to Gotham City and they're fighting this guy called, what do you call himself, like the henchman master, the henge master, this guy that kind of like trains henchmen to be henchmen. They're trying to like break into this facility to figure out some information and like get pretty much to get the bat signal back, because they're like, Gotham should have that shining light of the bat signal, so we should get that back. So the two of them are just kind of, running around the city, breaking into this place, fighting a bunch of these goons, and it's just really cool. You just see, this is an interesting dynamic that I understand. There's a lot of respect for these two characters, like Stephanie Brown and Cassandra Cain. I understand that a lot of people like them. Some people don't. I, for one, really enjoy these characters. I've always been a fan of Stephanie Brown. I think she's really fascinating and cool. So I hope this book leads into either a mini inside the actual Batman story, or a mini-series called Orphan and Spoiler, or The Symbol or something, where we just see these two characters who have now adopted the Batman logo, taking on their own role in a bigger way. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. They're both kind of becoming, because both of them for a time were Batgirl or Batwoman, right? I'm sure both of them were at some time in continuity, but Barbara is now the Batgirl, so that's cool. Give these girls their roles back. I think that's really fun and really entertaining. I love this one a lot. It was just so fun and so cool. And then we get a story involving Poison Ivy, where she goes to the Eden that she built for Harley. Harley is no longer there. There's just a bunch of goons who show up, and she's like, oh, okay, I guess I'm going to have to fight these guys. So she takes out these goons. There's one woman among them, and she doesn't kill the woman. She's just trying to talk to the woman like, okay, so obviously something's going on in this city, and I need to just stop it because I built this Eden. This Eden is now destroyed. I am not happy with that, and everything is falling apart. Voila, Queen Ivy. Ivy is going to become the queen of Gotham City, or at least of this Eden she's going to build for herself. I could definitely see this being an arc in the next year of Batman. Harley and Ivy work really well when they're villains or supporting characters in the Batman mythos, so having this arc where maybe Batman and Harley have to kind of stop Ivy from taking over Gotham City and expanding her Eden into this larger empire, I would be really on board to see that. That could be really cool. Ivy's a great character. This was a really just fun, interesting story that I enjoyed reading. Like, these were all really fun, really cool, really unique. This one, really interesting. Ivy's a great character. This was really cool. I'm excited to see what Queen Ivy is going to look like in the future. And then the last one we have here is from Tynion himself. I know he created this character, and I'll be honest with you guys, this was the one I liked the least, I think, just because I nothing against the artwork. It's just not for me. It's a little too bright, a little too flashy, a little too, I don't even want to say kiddish, because I think the Orphan and Spoiler one is more kiddish. I just think with the artwork, it didn't jive. It didn't work for what I was looking for in terms of my art. It's still an interesting story, so we just see it from the perspective like these clown goons who are trying to figure out what they're going to do to stop Clown Hunter, and it is this kid who's just burning people, blowing them up, electrocuting them, just hanging them from the sides of buildings and everything. This kid is insane, and I think there was the idea that it was going to be Damian Wayne, but they kind of confirmed it's not, because this idea came into play too, that Batman coincidentally was responsible for the death of his parents, that they couldn't be saved because of the destruction that Batman caused while doing all this stuff. Really cool. I mean, that's interesting. Clown Hunter obviously going to play a bigger role going forward in some of these books. I could see him being kind of an anti-hero towards Batman in that sense. I'm curious to see if he's going to come back at the end of Joker War and how that's going to connect, but you just get more Clown Hunter here. You see him killing a bunch of goons. He fights one mano-a-mano. It was pretty cool. Pretty interesting. Not my favorite story, but at the same time, it was still worth it, I think. It was still really cool and fascinating. This was a fun book. I'm really glad I picked it up. I was kind of hesitant to do I really need to read this? But if you want to know what's coming down the pipeline for stories with Batman in the future, you get a lot of good stuff here. Bane's going to come back. Ivy's going to come back. The Clown Hunter's going to come back. Spoiler and Orphan are becoming the Batgirls again, which is kind of exciting, if you want my opinion. And then John Ridley gives us his first tease at what could be his potential Batman run of Luke Fox. Really fun stuff. Thoroughly enjoyed it. So Batman Joker Warzone issue 1, I'm going to give an 8 out of 10. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you in the next video. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.